Hey guys, Mason Sheets from out here in western Kansas. Today we're putting together a little mini-series covering some ways that you can fine-tune your agronomic practices on your guys' operations. Hey guys, Mason Sheets here. Today we're going to talk about fertility based on your soil tests. We're going to kind of break this down into three key categories that I tune in on. One of which is what time of year you're taking soil tests. The second one is, what is that soil test telling you based on a report card from last year and looking forward. And then lastly, just kind of some high-level nutrition thoughts based on what your soil test is telling you. When we start to think about taking soil tests, if you're somebody that hasn't or maybe somebody that already are taking tests, I think that the time of year that you take them isn't necessarily the most important part, but being consistent year to year is. That's going to show you trends. That's going to try to keep all your variables as closely equal as possible. If you're taking a soil test in the middle of December when the ground's mostly froze, you're not going to have any biology out there affecting your nutrients. But let's say the next year you take a test in the middle of June, that biology is going to be warmed up and going, and it's going to throw your tests off. So really when we're doing these tests, same time of year, it doesn't really matter what time of year, but just stay consistent in when you take them. Okay, so now we have a soil test. We've been doing this for a few years. I really think a soil test is equally important as a report card as to what happened last year. Did you make a management change? Plan a different time of year, try a different fertilizer practice. That's going to tell you what's going on in your soil and kind of how you did, or what the plant used, what it didn't use. And then it's also going to kind of tell you going forward this next year what's available in your soil. Nowadays with markets being crazy and everything always going up in price, this is a great way that we can start to tune in some of our expenses on the farm and dial in that fertilizer program. So for the final point here, you have your soil test, you're seeing all the numbers on there. Everybody really keys in on the big three fertilizers, your nitrogen, your phosphorus, your potassium, and then subsequently you look through your micros. Maybe you're a guy that you've always had a standard program that you put out X amount of this, X amount of that. This is a great time to figure out what crop you're going to be having out, what that crop needs are going to be, what your yield goals are, and maybe start considering what the forecast is looking like long-term for the year. And then, decide on a yield goal, see what you already have out in your soil that's going to be available for the crop. And then before putting anything else out, use that to dial it in and maybe cut back, or maybe you put out more than what you thought you needed. Okay guys, thanks for following along here with these thoughts on fertility based on your soil tests. If you like what you saw, check us out on our other socials, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We're about on everything, and keep your eyes peeled for the next videos coming out.
Guys, thanks for watching the content so far. We've got a whole lot more on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Subscribe there. We put a ton of content on there that's useful and applicable information to help on your farms and day-to-day life. So go ahead, hop over there. If you want more information, check us out there.